Hey everyone, welcome to Billion Stories. Today, I'm going to talk about how to invest for retirement at age 30. As I mentioned, it may seem like a pipe dream, but there are some things you can do to get started now that will set you up for financial security later in life. While it may seem unrealistic to believe that you can save enough money in your 30s to retire at age 65, it's not impossible. Some experts say that it's possible to accumulate over $1 million by age 65. So let's take a look at how you can start investing for retirement at age 30. Number 1. Save at least 10% of your income. One of the best ways to create a solid financial foundation for the future is to save at least 10% of your income. For someone earning $10,000 per year, this would equate to $1,000 saved per year. Of course, the more you save, the easier it will be to build wealth for retirement. If you start saving at a young age, it will be much easier to establish a habit of saving and investing for the future. Even though you may not start saving money until later in life, this does not mean you can't start building wealth sooner. If you earn $50,000 a year, then saving $5,000 will bring your total annual savings to $10,000. It's important to get into the habit of saving and investing. Make saving automatic, using your debit card or by setting up automatic transfers to a savings account. Don't forget to set up recurring monthly contributions to your 401k as well. Number 2. Build a solid emergency fund. The average American spends half of his or her income on interest and the other half on personal consumption. So, if you are planning on retiring at age 65, you need to put aside $100,000 or more to accumulate enough money to live on for the rest of your life. But what happens when something goes wrong? If you are retired, your income is not likely to decline significantly, but if you have a health crisis, an accident, or a death in the family, your retirement plans could be in jeopardy. The best way to avoid having your retirement dreams dashed by an unforeseen event is to build an emergency fund. This will provide the funds you need to meet your short-term needs if your income unexpectedly drops or your savings go dry. It is best to start building an emergency fund in your 20s so that you will be prepared for life's unexpected challenges as you approach retirement. Number 3. Invest in bonds, CDs, and mutual funds. Retirement is something that most people look forward to when they retire. The average person will spend 10 years of their lives working, and they will be able to relax and enjoy themselves without worrying about the future. The problem is that they don't know how to invest for retirement. People will start to think about their retirement at age 30, and they'll have to start thinking about how to invest to get the money they need to retire. One of the best ways to invest for retirement is to start investing now. You can do this through bonds, CDs, or mutual funds. Bonds are the safest investment you can make because they provide you with a regular income. A bond will always pay you interest every single month, no matter what the economy is doing. This is how you can ensure you have enough money to pay for your living expenses. Number 4. Invest in stocks. There are several options available to you when it comes to investing. Some people prefer to invest in mutual funds. Others prefer to invest in individual stocks. Stocks offer many advantages over other investment vehicles. There are 2 major advantages that you can get with stocks: diversification and liquidity. Diversification is the most important advantage of investing in stocks. The more you invest in stocks, the less risk you have to your portfolio. You don't have to worry about the performance of one company. Instead, you're investing in a basket of companies that you believe will be profitable and successful. Stocks are also a great way to diversify your portfolio and build wealth. You can even diversify by holding different types of stocks. One option is to invest in large and small stocks. Another advantage of stocks is liquidity. When you invest in stocks, you own a piece of the company. When you sell your shares, you receive the profit you invested. This allows you to liquidate your investment quickly if you need to. Number 5. Start investing in real estate. The goal of investing in real estate is to turn passive income into active income. You will want to purchase a rental property that will provide steady cash flow. When you make this investment, you will be able to live off of the rent checks while also generating passive income. You can also look into building a new house or buying an existing house to flip it to make money. The goal of flipping is to make as much money as possible off of the property as quickly as possible. With a profit goal in mind, you can invest in a home renovation project or even build a new home. Number 6. Diversify your portfolio. When most people start investing for retirement, they typically put all of their eggs into one basket of stocks. This is a very risky decision, especially if you're young. Because you're investing in the market, you can lose all of your money if the stock market crashes. Also, if you invest in a single company, you can lose a lot of money if that company goes bankrupt. The best thing to do would be to diversify your investments so that you don't risk all of your money in one company. Diversification is simply the idea of spreading your money across different companies and different industries. For example, you could invest in a mutual fund that invests in a broad range of stocks. If a single company goes bankrupt, it will only affect a portion of the stock fund's holdings. However, if the entire stock market experiences a crash, your investment will be wiped out completely. Therefore, it is always best to diversify your investments so that you don't have to worry about losing all of your money in the event of a market crash. Number 7. Keep investing even when the market is down. We all know that the stock market is volatile. We also know that it can be very difficult to pick stocks that are going to increase in value. The last thing you want is to lose money because you invested in a stock that fell or just failed to appreciate. The key is to understand that investing in the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it can be a great way to build wealth for yourself and your family. So, while it may seem that you are losing money during a downturn in the market, it is a great time to continue investing. This is because there is a great opportunity to make money when the market is weak and you still have the same amount of money in the account. As the market continues to rise, your original investment will increase in value and you will benefit. Number 8. Be willing to take some risks to achieve financial freedom. We are taught from a young age to be cautious and never put our hard-earned money at risk. We are told that we should not gamble, that investing is risky and there is no guaranteed return. This is true in many cases, but there are a few investments where you have no guarantees and are betting on the future of the company. The best place to start is to find a broker that you trust. Do your research to find out how their investment fees compare to others in the industry. Some of the most successful people invest in the stock market, and we know that when they buy stocks, they tend to buy and hold. But that doesn't mean that they always make money. We all want a certain amount of money saved in a nest egg that is built up over time. That's why we suggest using an online broker that offers a low fee structure for your investment account. This will help you create a solid financial foundation and save for a rainy day. Number 9. Don't retire early if you can't afford to retire. If you are not saving enough and have no retirement plans, then you must start saving now. The fact is, at age 30, most people won't be able to save enough to replace 90% of their pre-retirement income. If you plan to retire early, then you will have to be much more prudent with your spending. If you can't afford to live off savings, then it is highly unlikely that you can afford to retire early. If your primary goal is to save and invest for retirement, then you will need to increase your savings level to at least 70 to 80% of your income. You can't rely on your savings to cover your spending. Saving for retirement is about being wise with your money. If you can't afford to live off savings, then you need to save more and invest a bigger percentage of your income. Number 10. Be disciplined. I believe discipline is the most important thing when it comes to saving money. Having discipline and sticking to a plan is a huge step toward reaching your financial goals and dreams. The question is, how do you develop a plan and stick with it? Here are some tips to help you build your financial plan. First, create a budget. Next, come up with a realistic financial goal for your retirement. Don't just say you want to retire at 65. Come up with your definition of what you want to accomplish with your finances. Finally, don't allow yourself to take a break from your plan. The best thing you can do for your future is to save and continue to invest. I hope you found this video useful and informative. Thank you for watching Billion Stories. Be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.